Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor Radio. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and we have a whole lot to talk about from the week in review. So just stay tuned and take notes because we are loaded. Welcome to the show, John.
Yeah, great to be in studio with you. Good morning, Southwest Florida. And on today's show, we're going to discuss the potential market reactions to the upcoming 2024 election. I think about 90 days or so until we vote. As always, we're going to begin our program with the market update and then dive into some crucial topics that could shape your financial future. And if you're someone who has put economic uncertainties and allowed you to put your financial decisions on hold, you really need to grab a hold of Alfie's free toolkit that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. You know, inside Alfie's free toolkit, it's going to give you a wide range of materials such as, will your money last as long as you do? You need to answer that question. Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? Social Security decisions guide, or will a recession rob your retirement? All you have to do to get this free toolkit is text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. If you don't text, call the operator, ask for the free toolkit. That's 239-747-1077. It's time for a worry-free retirement. Get Alfie's toolkit today. It's going to add incredible value to your financial retirement plan. 239-747-1077. Alfie, you said it right. We got a lot to talk about today, and we could start off with the Fed, who really, we are now in the month of August and still has not done anything to reduce the interest rates.
Yeah, no, he kept it steady, and it looks like, I mean, all indications, it looks like it's going to be September. They'll have their first rate cut. Jobless numbers came out, and people are really. There's only it was 14,000 that applied for unemployment. It did increase that number up a little bit. We're still relatively low. They were saying that some of that number was increased because of Michigan. There was like 4,000 layoffs over there. But again, it looks like we're going to have some rate cuts, and it could be just one this year. It could be, I was reading where it could be a September. We'll have one. They're going to skip October, maybe November. They'll have another one. So, but by the end, what it looks like, there's some plots out there forecasting what the Fed's benchmark would look like. Maybe by the end of 2025. So by the end of next year, it would just be above the 4% mark. Right now, it's hovering that 5.25 to 5.5%. So that would mean it would bring it down about 1.5 points over the course of a year. Now, what does that mean? That means that your savings accounts will definitely go down.
Right.
Okay, so your savings accounts will definitely go down. Those short-term 5% is not going to happen on CDs. Money markets will probably go down to about that 2.5-3% range. So, but what that will do is drive the markets up. Remember, lower interest helps markets because they can borrow money at a cheaper rate. So it will help, it'll probably get money out of that money market account, out of those CDs, back into investing. So that would be a good thing for the market. But the Feds, they will be looking very closely at what they're going to do with interest rates, because inflation is coming down, but it doesn't mean it's under control yet.
Right. Well, I mean, you're talking about, a point and a half by the end of 2025, which, realistically is not where we were, 4 or 5 years ago. And as we move into an election year, how does that bode for the election, or it really doesn't have an impact on people making a decision? Do you think people have already made decisions based on who they're going to vote for, based upon their pocketbook right now and what they've been facing, the challenges of inflation over the past 3 or 4 years?
So if you think about it, I would hope they made their decision. If it, you had Biden, he was running, and then you had his vice president, Kamala Harris, and now she is on the ticket. Looks like she's going to be on the ticket to be the Democratic presidential, person that's going to run in that party. But if you look at it, they're the same people. So if you like the policies Biden had, you're going to vote for that. If you like more of the policies that Trump had, you're going to vote for that, for him. So you do have what the good thing about it is you have two people that are running that you have a history.
Right.
And matter of fact, Kamala would be even maybe more on the left than Biden.
Yeah.
If you can imagine that. I mean, she's the number.
She wants the Green New Deal and all that.
She wants a Green New Deal. She wants, there's a, on our radio station, we have to talk about Trump, and we have to talk about, during election, we have to be equal. So I'm going to try to do my best to be equal. But when you look at Kamala Harris, everything that she was against, all of a sudden she is for.
Right.
And you can't do that. I mean, that is as blatant, as saying, I'm going to fix the border. Well, how are you going to fix the border? You had 4 years to do it almost. And now all of a sudden you're going to fix the border as president. And then you're going to, there's so many other things that, defund the police, well, you said it, and you're on TV saying it, and it's going to be hard for her to come back. Like right now, she's on, it's a honeymoon for her right now. We talked about it. Everything, the media's not asking questions, and this is, and I'm not upset with her. I'm upset with the media.
Right.
We have media that is not reporting, and look how they reported like they should have when they got the go ahead to go against Biden. Put him out. Put him, make him get out. Make him get out. They asked some questions. They did this. They did that. But they're not asking one hard question to Kamala Harris, and that's why it's the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, it's the honeymoon phase. But also, what's interesting is they want to get to a neutral or negative zero footprint carbon. And I just heard Janet Yellen say something that was incredible. To sustain that, if they were to get that by 2050, would be $3 trillion a year in order to sustain that. How do we do that? And what would that do to our country and the markets? Because I think we take in somewhere around $3 trillion, don't we? I mean, that's our GDP.
Yeah. And, if you think about it, the ones, that's why you think about who you want as president and who do you want as that can run a country. And Trump, he's already run a country. I'm not saying he's perfect. He's no one's perfect, but he knows how to run a country. He knows how to run business.
Yeah.
And you take someone that either is going to run, be a CEO of a business, which is a country, or someone that's going to be a CEO that's never been a CEO, that's had a government job their whole life. So you just have to take that in consideration. I think people have to really sit back and, the Democrats typically do very well as, with the market, versus a Republican. Now, Trump did pretty darn good as a Republican when he was president, but usually Democrats do pretty good. But right now, with the debt that we have and the spending that's going on, I think even corporations are saying, hey, listen, something has to be done because we cannot keep doing what we're doing and survive as a country. Yeah,
well, we're at $35 trillion in debt as a nation, and that's not going to go down. It's going to continue to go up. We are making waves in retirement. It could affect your retirement. And Alfie has written a brand new book that can help you navigate through the fog of investing and all these challenges that we're facing, not only as a nation, but also as you as a retiree, someone who is an investor. If you're soon to be retired or currently retired, Alfie has come out with a brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement. It was in high demand, as always, and Alfie is offering you a complimentary copy. A complimentary copy of his book awaits you. To claim your book, all you have to do is call the operator and ask for it, or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Listen, don't wait till we go off the air today. You want to grab your copy. There's only so many available to send out this week. So please text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Pick up your smart device and do that right now. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many stories about investors that Alfie has helped save over his 40-year career as a certified financial planner professional. That's why he named this broadcast Saving the Investor, because he saves you from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. Text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's going to add value to your life. You're going to get great insights. You're going to get many stories that's going to help you understand this landscape of investing, which is totally different than it was 20 years ago. Simply text the word book, 239-747-1077. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. You know, as we are through midway point of 2024, this is the time to get a review. If you have not had your portfolio reviewed, Alfie has what's called a retirement simulator process that will be a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. He's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, diversified correctly, make sure you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting each and every year. He's also going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns inside your portfolio that you don't see. You really need to meet with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Very simple. You can call the operator or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, you want to visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Don't wait until the election. Get positioned now for what's going to happen in the future. 239-747-1077. We're talking about the market and review. The markets are still holding strong, Alfie.
Yeah.
And job claims came out, and that really can have an effect on the market, can it, one way or the other?
Yeah, they did come out this past week. It was 14,000 new claims. So it was up 14,000 for the year. It's 200 and almost right at 250,000 new claims for it's a 1-year high. So now some of those claims happen to be from the Michigan. They had some layoffs in the automotive industry, but now Florida, they had 1,800 fewer claims for unemployment claims for the prior week. So that's a good thing. So Florida is a state that people are still working. Markets are doing, like you said, they're relatively doing good. We're in a nice little run. Last week, we had one hiccup, and then we had a great day on the NASDAQ on Wednesday. Was a real good day, and then you had the week before. I was out of town. And then I was, just for a little bit as I go out of town, it seems like the markets have their hiccups. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But again, we talked about this in election year. You are going to have, even though it's mostly positive in election year, you do have volatility.
Right.
And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing volatility. And what happened was, the markets were doing very well. Looked like it was going to be a for sure Trump win, and then Kamala, brought her in. Kicked Joe to the side and brought her in, and it really messed things up. The markets, had some volatility because now it's, they don't know, is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Kamala? So the markets don't like uncertainty, and that was really it was uncertainty if you think about it, because he already debated Biden, Trump did, and then he was going to debate him again in September. And now all of a sudden we got a new person in there. And I was thinking it was the first time, I think, a president or a former president debated two different people. It's going to be two different people running for president.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's never really happened before. Sure. So that should be interesting. That's going to be a pay-per-view for sure. So what does that do to the market? And I always say, in times like this, if you don't come in for a review, this is the time to come in for a review. We have a lot of people coming in right now, and as they're coming in, they want some protection in their portfolios. Is there any way to protect that portfolio for down volatility? And there are ways to do it. So we're showing you how what we're utilizing to protect downside volatility, and then you have different vehicles out there that can protect it all. Different vehicles that can protect part of it, all of it, or none of it. So if you're really not making any changes in your accounts, this might be a great time to come in. I know John said, come in for a retirement simulator review. If you haven't ever had your portfolio review, let us put it through our process, and the process will be, look at what you have going on inside your plan. Do you have an income plan in place? It will let you know that. It will let you know what your fees are. If you're holding a lot of international stocks or long-term bonds, short-term bonds, what are you holding? And that's what you want to look at. You want to look at everything that's going on inside your account and know, if you know what's going on, then you're an educated investor. If you don't know what's going on, you're just hoping. And, we always talk about, have that plan in place so you're not making mistakes and fixing your mistakes. So if you haven't really had a total portfolio review, that's our retirement simulator process. This is something that we put a lot of time in each one that we do. So we usually like to only do about, probably in a week, we can do about 8 in a week because there's a lot of information we have to put in there. So if you want to give us a call, we'll do the first eight callers that gets in. We will do that for you, and it is something that you're going to be able to walk away with and say, hey, this is something I'm glad I did. So if you want to know about that, John will set you up with that.
Yeah, why not have a second pair of eyes, and the eyes that'll be looking at your portfolio is a man with 40 years experience as a certified financial planner professional. Alfie doesn't market time, stock pick, or track record invest. He's on the cutting edge with products and services that will get you to and through retirement. His goal is to keep you retired. So why not take advantage of the retirement simulator process? Be one of the first 8 callers. Don't wait to the end of the broadcast. Pick up your smart device right now and either call the operator or text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. You really need to meet with him. Are you rebalancing? If you're growing in equities and you want to stay in a 50-50 mix or a 70-30 mix or whatever your tolerance is as far as risk factor, you want to make sure that you're staying in line with that. Alfie is going to rebalance your portfolio every month. He's going to make sure that you're staying the course. You really need to visit with him. He is Southwest Florida's premier certified financial planner professional, and he didn't just start out in this industry. He celebrated 40 years as a certified financial planner strategist, and he's going to give you an income plan that's going to get you to and through retirement. Pick up the phone, call the operator, or text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077. Make an appointment with him today. You also can visit him on the web by going to savingtheinvestor.com. Again, you'll find a wealth of information about Alfie, his company, and all the services that he offers here at the Advantage Retirement Group. Savingtheinvestor.com. Take a look at that website, and you'll learn a lot more about him and his company. And Alfie, people really need to be positioned because, like you said, we don't know who's going to be in the White House once this vote is in on November 5th. Markets are going to react, aren't they? Once whoever's decided, they're going to react one way or the other. Normally, the end of the year, fourth quarter is normally good, though, for markets, isn't it?
Usually it's good. This is, again, election year. It's going to be a little bit different, but the last quarter is typically a good quarter. Summer is going to be that hit or miss. You're going to have some good days. You're going to have some bad days. And, month of September just seems to be, people are traveling. They're not thinking about it. So they're really, they're pulling their money out of the market. Some of the big boys. I'm not talking about the average investor, but some of the big ones are taking some off the table while they're away. So you see a lot more volatility usually in September. So those are the months that and it's the summer months. But again, this election year, there's a lot of uncertainty, and when you have uncertainty, you have to look at well, how can I protect what I have? How can I protect what I have? So you have to take all that in consideration.
Yeah, it's important. So basically what Alfie does here is he really sets a plan in motion for you. And if you never had an income plan or a strategy put together, Alfie can do that for you. One of the things that you need to be thinking about is there's a ticking time bomb in your portfolio, especially if you're taking your required minimum distributions and you're paying tax on that. A lot of people think, well, I have this amount of money, but really you don't have that amount of money because every time that you take it out, you're going to pay taxes on that. And Alfie has put together a plan, a strategy that will address the uncertainties and instill confidence in your future. As a certified financial planner professional, Alfie put together a tax map that will strive to help you achieve 3 goals. Number 1, lower your tax bracket. Number 2, protect your money when taxes rise. And number 3, create a tax-free income. And he wants you to get a hold of this absolutely free. All you have to do is call the operator or text the word TAX, T-A-X, to 239-747-1077. Call or text right now to request Alfie's tax map. The time to minimize future taxes and generate a tax-free income is right now. Call or text the word tax to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, taxes along with inflation is really a double indemnity for people because they're paying a lot more on both ends of the spectrum, aren't they?
Well, when you have taxes, that's really inflation is a hidden tax. Right. You know, if you're having to spend, they were saying people are spending $1,000 a month more because of inflation on things that they were buying just in 2019. So if you go back to 2019, you know, you were paying about $1,000 a month less than what you're paying now for the same thing. So it's a lot of money. And then you have, they're just everything you have to look at, taxes, you have to look at inflation. So there is going to be a great opportunity to have change. Either there's going to, you know, one way or another. You're going to have change, you know, the way we're going to do business, the way taxes are. So, you know, these are two different people, which is fantastic. I think that's what's going to happen. People are going to look at not just so much a personality. They're going to look at, do I want it this way or do I want it this way? And they've had both ways. Right. So this is a good thing about this. So this is a, you know, very exciting time, and we'll talk more about that. There's a whole lot to talk about, historical data we're going to get to. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Saving the Investor. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida Certified Financial Planner Professional. I am here with Pastor John Antonucci, and he is going to really help us dissect a lot of things between him and I. He's going to ask me some good questions. I'm going to hopefully give you some right answers. So stay tuned, and John's going to give you our phone number to start.
Yeah, if you give Alfie a call, 239-747-1077. You also can visit him on the web at savingtheinvestor.com. Again, that's savingtheinvestor.com. Don't hesitate. Pick up the phone. Call 239-747-1077. You want to meet with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. You know, we're going to talk about the potential market reactions to the 24 election, which probably this will be an election like no other. And Alfie, we're going to talk about what you expect and how could the economy and the stock market really respond to this election. What do you think is going to be? I mean, I've never seen an election like this, neither of you in our lifetime, where a candidate was swapped out 100 days before you know, the election. And really, this is going to be one for the ages. This
will be one. Absolutely. And I remember Trump talks about it as like, you know, if you have a boxer that's in the ring, right, and your fighter's losing, and we're going to swap him out for another one. Yeah. You know, it just doesn't seem fair. Right. And you know, does the people, you know, there's excitement on the Democratic side because they weren't too excited about Biden. Right. And yeah, the question is though, I guess everybody around him had to know that he had some mind issues. Well, now they're saying he did, but back then they were saying he's sharp as a tack. Yeah, sharp as a tack. But even up until 3 months ago, there's been, you know, a lot of instances that they would have known he had some issues, big time. Yeah, the party was definitely fractured. You know. Yeah, you have the VP wasn't saying anything, the media wasn't saying anything, and I again, I'm getting back to the media. I think the media is the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, you hear about, let's go back to Walter Cronkite, you know, Peter Jennings, all these, you know, people that were tilted left, but they were pretty down the middle when they gave the news. Well, you say you can't be biased, but they're biased to one side, you know. They're biased. How can they be biased? Yeah, they are biased to one side, but these guys are biased 100%, and they show it. And then they're holding things back, and that's what I don't like, is that what they're holding back from people to see to make right choices. And that's going to make the investors a little bit nervous too, don't it? Yes, see that. That's a perfect example. So if people don't trust the government, people don't trust the media, people don't trust the FBI, people don't trust the CIA, that's not good. That is not good for the market or for, for America. So, a change has to really come, and we'll see what the people want, because we'll see what the people want. And there's a difference between the parties, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So you got the Democrats and Republicans have widely different views when it comes to boosting economic growth. Okay, so and they differ on job creation. So job creation, I would say, for the Democrats would be probably increased government jobs.
Right.
That would be increased government jobs, where the Republicans would say, let's increase entrepreneurship and lower interest, so you can start a business, build employees, and so that's the difference. Is more of building it from individuals that want to build a business and individuals that want to work for a small business than work for the government.
Right.
So that would be a big difference between the Democrat, versus the Republican. Then you have minimum wage. I think the government, if you look at it, look what it did in California, where Gavin Newsom went to $20 an hour. And now all these companies that were there for 20, that were paying minimum wage, and they were probably paying minimum wage or more than minimum wage. And minimum wage is just a start. I would have to say, if you're, at least 25 in this audience, if not, older, I would hope. Not hope, but if you are older, you would know that you worked for minimum wage at one time.
We all did.
We all did.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get a job and make $3. And I think the lowest minimum wage, it was like $3.60 an hour. But you start with that. That doesn't mean that's your goal to stay in that. Your goal is to work and increase that minimum wage to something bigger.
Right.
And where I would say the Republicans would be not worry about minimum wage. Know that there is a minimum wage, but you're going to get paid what you're worth.
Right.
And that's a big difference. Do you want to get paid what you're worth, or just get paid a little bit more than what minimum wage is? And look what these companies in California, John, they did not. These are companies that's been there for years and years. They're companies that are closing. They're closing. These restaurants are closing their franchise. McDonald's even closed in parts of California.
Right.
Because of minimum wage. So one thing is, you cannot force what the value of someone that should be paid. What you should get paid is the services that you can give to that company and get much more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's the difference. But all this does affect your retirement plan. So if you don't have a retirement plan that takes income in, you have to look at income and create an income account. I would have to say a lot of the people that come in that become our clients, the reason why they're becoming our clients is because their advisor did not really have a written income plan in place to show where this money is coming from, and if the market goes down, how's that going to affect my portfolio? So what we would do here is put an income plan together for you and show you where the money would be coming from, and show you if the market does go down, how you're protected. And then we're going to also show you the different managers that we have. We talk about this all the time. The managers that we have some managers that manage for big, states, universities, firms, that you wouldn't have access to those managers, but you do have access with us, because of the amount that, the network that we have, that we're able to offer you things that you can't get on your own. And that's why I always tell people is why you want to use us is that you would have access to accounts that you would not have access to in the public, or probably where you are right now. And I want things that other people can't get. And that's what everybody should want, right, John? If you want access to what the uber wealthy has, even though you might not be uber wealthy yet, but you still want those access to have that. And that's the difference. So if you're looking at things that are a different type of investing, different style, different programs that we can offer, give us a call and let us just review what you have and show you what we would do. And we can do a side-by-side comparison and show you, hey, this is what we would do. This is what you have. And let you see it in black and white. Is very easy.
Yeah, we're talking about the political landscape today and how people are going to vote are definitely going to affect your retirement plan and your strategy. And you really want to be positioned for that strategy right now. You don't want to wait till the election is over. And to position yourself correctly, you want to sit down with Alfie here in Fort Myers or Naples, and he will do a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. Matter of fact, he's going to take you back 5 years and look at your increases or decreases, and he's going to show you his portfolio, how it would have performed 5 years ago up till now. And really, he's going to expose all the hidden fees inside your portfolio that could be eating up your returns. He's going to make sure you're allocated properly, diversified correctly, that you're rebalancing to keep your mix of asset classes correct on the plan that you have established. He's going to make sure that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. You really need to sit down with him. He is a certified financial planner professional and 40 years experience in this industry, helping people just like yourself achieve their dreams, goals, and visions for retirement. And if you don't have an income plan or a strategy, or you haven't had a review, or maybe you've been with the same advisor for 10 years or 20 years, and it's time to get a second pair of eyes on your portfolio, just call the operator or text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077. You owe it to yourself to sit down with a man that is a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not the products or services that he offers here at the Advantage Retirement Group. And he's going to tailor make a plan, custom make something for you that will get you to and through retirement. Don't hesitate. Pick up the phone right now. Text the word VISIT or call the operator 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. And Alfie, it's interesting to me that since 1950, how the stock market has performed under a Republican Congress, but yet with a Democratic president. Democrats, maybe back then they were more for a worker, but now it's more government influence or government spending, or really government getting involved. Maybe you could talk about the advantages or disadvantages of having more government versus less government in our Congress and in our presidency.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. When you have, first of all, a mixed House and Senate presidency, Wall Street likes that. That means a whole lot is not going to get done.
Right.
A lot of, if not just get done, a whole lot of new rules and regulations will not get passed. So they typically like that. But when you have a lot of government jobs, it costs more money for the debt increases to pay these government jobs, versus when you have money going in from the non-government jobs, because you're going to have higher taxes going to be paying, and you're not having to take money to pay the government employees. So if you can reduce that and then increase taxes from non-government jobs, it's a win-win. You're going to always have government jobs, but not to overburden the system.
Right.
You want to promote free market, and that's what the difference between the Democratic and the Republican is promoting free market, and let the market dictate what you get paid and what you're worth. And that's what people will be voting on this year. It's right around the corner. So there's a whole lot more we want to talk about. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie has a brand new book out on the market. It's called Making Waves in Retirement. It's always popular and high demand, and he's offering a complimentary copy that's waiting for you right now. To claim your free book, all you have to do is call the operator and ask for it, or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped save over the years, over his 40-year career as a certified financial planner professional. Simply call the operator or text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. We're talking about the political landscape today and how this upcoming election in about 90 days is going to affect you and your retirement plan. And Alfie, really, how much, a lot of people put, really the emphasis on how much it's really going to affect the markets. But will this election really affect the markets one way or another drastically, or is it just something that we're constantly going to have the same similar volatility?
Yeah, we're gonna have more volatility. But the one thing about election year, typically the markets are positive. So I would say that's how it affects. In election year, markets tend to be more positive at the end of the year than negative. So that would be one of the effects on that. But you're going to have volatility. You're going to hear news that popped up. With different polls, you're going to have polls that will be going back and forth, back and forth. You have all different polls anymore. If you think about that, then the markets have to say, okay, now we were basing it on a Trump win. Now we're basing it on a Harris win. So you got to go back and forth. You're going to see some volatility in that sense. But overall, the bottom line is, regardless of what happens, the market's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine. In my personal preference, I think if you have, free market, more business oriented, less taxes, less interest, you're going to have a whole, lot more opportunity, I think, with a Republican than you would with a Democrat, because we already had the Democrat and we're maxed out with spending.
Yeah.
We cannot keep spending.
Well, let me ask you this, because Donald Trump just made a statement that is reverbing around the country, and that is he doesn't believe, and if he implements this, would be great, that seniors should have to pay tax on Social Security. How would that impact the senior population out there?
Oh my goodness, that's it was never supposed to be taxed. Social Security was never taxed. If you look at it, Roosevelt said Social Security will never be taxed as long as I'm alive, and then he died.
Yeah.
Then he died, and then they taxed it.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, Social Security is something that we pay. You pay 7.5% of your income, up to like $115,000, $120,000 a year, to Social Security each and every year. Now, why Social Security is in this funk that it is, the debt that it's in, because people were, the average age back when Social Security started was 65. And now people are living, so people were dying relatively fast, and Social Security was doing very, very well. The problem now is there's not enough people paying into the system. You had J.D. Vance talk about, we need to have more kids. We need to have kids. We're not producing enough kids. They took that out of context.
He got slammed for that.
He got slammed for that. But the truth is, if you have more kids and more going back into the, paying more into Social Security, that's going to help. When you have more people on Social Security right now than ever before, people are living longer. It was not meant to be that long. So, I mean, that would be a great thing if you did not tax Social Security. But then again, where are you going to get the money that they're getting right now from the taxing of Social Security?
Drill, baby, drill, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. There has to. It's a great statement, but it would be hard to see how they're going to replenish that money that people are paying for Social Security.
Well, the question is, do we want to continue funding other countries, Ukraine and different places, with billions of dollars, or how about putting it back into the seniors and the veterans and the workforce?
I'm all for that.
There? I mean, we have to look at our own eventually, don't we?
I'm all for that, because the monies that we are spending overseas, and I know a lot of that money is to have freedom. Okay, but there's a lot of money that we are spending really on immigrants and stuff like that are coming over the border, and you take care of them more than you take care of the military, more you take care of the vets. That's an issue, and people have a big issue with that. I can tell you that we hear about it all the time. You read about it, and you see it. That is, you take care of your own people first. It's almost like family.
Yeah.
You're gonna, if a family member is hurting, you're gonna help that family member. Where we are all family members as in the United States, and when you have other people coming in that's not family member yet, they haven't paid their time. They haven't paid into the system. They haven't done anything. They come in for handouts versus. When my great grandfather, I guess no, it was my grandfather came in from Armenia back in the 40s or whatever at Ellis Island. That was when they came in. People came in back then, and you can look at it. They had to come in with a trade. They had to come in. Either they were tailors, they were lawyers, they were doctors, engineers. They came because they wanted to give to their new country.
Right.
It's different now when you're coming in and hitting police officers and doing things, and you're not giving. You're just saying, give me that credit card, give me that, give me. That doesn't work. It has to that has to get fixed.
Yeah. Well, looking at this whole political landscape, it seems like history's repeating itself, because it was Ronald Reagan that said back in '80, ask yourself, am I better off than I was?
Yeah, that's
4
the question.
years ago? And I think that's really where we are at, aren't we?
Yeah, and that's the question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And if you're not, then it's your wallet usually makes the will pick the vote. So I hope this was it's not. I hope it wasn't more of a political show this hour, but it does affect your portfolios. The amount of debt that increases, the amount of taxes, are they going to go up? So everything we're talking about does pertain to your retirement, because retirement, are they going to tax Social Security? Are they going to not tax it? So there's a whole lot to take in consideration.
Yeah, well, election time does bring market uncertainty, and it's crucial to stay calm and patient. And remember, it's time in the market, not timing the market. Let me say that again. It's time in the market and not timing the market. So if you're comfortable with your current risk and have time to weather the changes, stick with your plan. But however, if retirement is just 3 to 5 years away, or you're currently retired right now, it's vital to review your financial strategy to ensure your risk level aligns with your current goals. And you want expert advice. An expert is someone who has 40 years experience, is a certified financial planner professional that has been through ups and downs of elections before. And that's Alfie Townsend. He wants to give you a free consultation and review your financial strategy in Fort Myers or Naples. Simply text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077. If you don't text, call the operator, 239-747-1077. Secure your financial future today. Text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077.
John, I hear you talk about certified financial planner professional. I don't really talk about that as much as I should talk about it, but why would you want to work with a certified financial planner professional? Is because the schooling we have to go through, the education that we have to go through, the experience that we have to go through, the connections that we have, and we have to look at the whole picture, not just part of your retirement, but the whole picture. You have to look at your taxes. We have to look at your, how much income, how are we going to create the income, a legacy. I always say about that is, like, we're the quarterback, because we're going to have teammates in there. We're going to have a lawyer. We're going to have the CPAs. We all work as a team together. So if you haven't really dealt with a certified financial planner professional, give us a call and we'll show you the difference. Speaking of, if you haven't, maybe you haven't seen our TV show. It's on NBC2. It's called Saving the Investor. We're on every Sunday from 11 to 11:30 every Sunday after Meet the Press. So that's if you haven't seen that, check that out. And of course, we've been on this radio station 92.5 for well over 10 years now, and it's we just so blessed to have 92.5 right here in our hometown that does talk radio throughout the 24 hours. That's pretty cool to have that right in our backyard. And of course, Jake the Millennial helping us all the time. And we hope you got something out of this show. When it comes to retirement, there's a lot to go on in an election year. So give us a call and see if we can put you in a better position. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Stay dry. It looks like a little rain coming. Till next week, be blessed.